chess fans, how is it going? Hope you're having a good day. I made some adjustments. I moved around a little, like with the chair and the setup, so I could get this guy in the frame, because he's been so cute recently. I realized he had to, there we go. He's putting up a show already. I realized he would prefer to be in the screen, but yeah, so sorry for the little delay. We got this going on. Hopefully he'll continue to be all cute and not at all distracting throughout our today lesson. I was looking at some of the games that has been going on, and I really have been wanting to share a lot on Dragon. And so I realized that I had this somewhat cute games going on a long time ago. It feels like a whole different lifetime, and so I wanted to share these. To be fair, I've had some pretty horrible losses in Dragon as well, so it's not all rainbows and dragons. But some of these have been very cute, so I really have I think these three games that I've selected will give you somewhat of an idea on different things that you can look for in Dragon, especially as white. Today we are going to be talking about taming your dragon, literally dragon opening, with my mini baby dragon up here being all cute. It really feels cute. I liked having him on the screen. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I want to show you is with Mohammad Amin Tabatabaei. It was a very funny game because from what I remember, he was like yay high. This game is like 8 years ago. Holy, I'm old. Yeah, and as you can see, he is younger than me. He had higher rated. It's still the same thing. He is one of the young stars from Iran, so I thought it would be cool to show this. Also makes me feel better, you know, I beat this guy. He was a little kid, yay. Only if I bet Firouzja when he was a kid would have been a nice collection. Alright, let's go ahead. So the dragon, that's not a secret, but what was a little surprising was this opening that I played here. Well, I usually for dragon I don't think I gave the short castle ideas a little try. It really did bore me, so I decided to switch it up a little bit. So I think all three of these games that you'll see have different openings, which is kind of why I'm showing these. But I think it's a good idea to try and have multiple different lines against specific openings. So alright, especially when playing players that you know, like if you don't know the opponent, you can't prepare, makes sense. But if you know the opponent and you have the chance to prepare against him, then you should. And that's, I believe I didn't prepare specifically against Mohammad Amin, because I mean I knew him, but I wasn't exactly like I wasn't sure what he would play. This is what I played at the time, and there are a lot of different ways to go about it. It's like I think h5 is one of the most annoying ways. Trying to get like trying to do like bishop e6 is another annoying way. Those two are what I remember. I remember h5 was something that's, whoa, my mouse is going cuckoo. Alright, I remember h5. Why is my mouse going cuckoo? I remember h5, there we go, is something that's kind of a bothersome idea. But in the game he took. Now, I want to take a second and ask you guys to evaluate this position. So what do you think? Is this a doable idea, not a doable idea? Did black rush it? Did black do just enough? Whoa. And yes, it is a very nice layout. I strategically moved everything around the table to get exactly this frame. Oh yes, Yugoslav is that's one of the ways to go about it. So any ideas on how to continue with this? Well, obviously you would most likely want to take, so that's not the exact question. But okay, I see he rushed it. To be fair, taking is a possibility, but it's so much theory that at some point I don't know if it was worth playing it. So now, why would you want to play Bishop G1? Ah, Jesus, there's a mouse going crazy. So yeah, also let me know the cities that you're at, or states, or countries. How is the crazy storm at where you're at? Because here it's been pretty crazy. They canceled school for like Monday and Tuesday, and today was like our February break one day. In my opinion, just cancel the next 2 days already, especially because I have a very, very hard exam tomorrow that I still need to study for. Actually, learn for. Let's go with that. So yeah, please cancel school. Wow, England, you return to school 8th of March. Jeez, nice. Well, yes, that is one of the things. That is one of the things. Jesus. What? Oh, yeah, well, to be fair, I did drop this mouse earlier today. Whoops. Maybe that's why it's acting out. Yes, taking is one of the ways to go. Well, let's think. What does my opponent want right now? Does my opponent probably wants to take over here and eat this knight, right? So what we do should be related to saving this knight. So either I would have to take or go away. Nobody wants to play knight to b3. Interesting. I thought knight b3 would have more suitors. I wish we were not going to school. Most of my classes are online anyways, but there are few that are in person. I'm not a fan. Okay, so you would try to save your bishop. I wouldn't exactly recommend this, just because now maybe something like e6, and then the queen is also getting opened up. You can't really castle because there's bishop h6, so you have to be very careful with how you go about it. Bishop g4 is not the best idea, but it's a very tricky idea, sacrifice. So you should be able to follow strongly. You can't just do whatever you want. Knight b3 isn't a strong idea. Knight taking on c6 is another possibility. But my problem with this is that black's piece activity is a little too much. I don't know what to do with my pieces in this position. Like, if I do something like that, then next thing you know, checks left and right. Whoops. Checks left and right, and then this guy is coming. Yeah, it's not really worth it. I'm gonna have a really hard time developing, so I have to be very careful with my with my opponent's piece activity. So I thought knight b3 was a cool idea, trying to cover no more queen a5s, no bishop h6 at the moment. I also see that the chat seems to be warming up to the idea of knight b3. Now in the game, he played d5. What do we think? Is d5 good? Is d5 too early? see some people are agreeing. It's good, okay. So the problem is, even if he took over here, I would simply take back. It doesn't really help black's position. And even if, I mean, you're gonna get the chance to castle, and I don't really know. Black's knight was, didn't really have any problems. I don't think black needs to rush this. I wish I was PC2 sleeping right now. Sleeping is always good, especially in snowy days. Oof, man. Alright, so d5. What should we do? Should we take this? What should we take it with? We got two different choices. I'm not gonna say queen because I don't want to lose my bishop. Yeah, I think we should take that too, but the thing is, if you take it with the knight, then bishop b2, and your king is going to be quite unsafe. That's why we shouldn't take it with the knight, because now I don't know where to place my king. So that's why taking with pawn is the best idea. And now it's quite interesting because black's gonna get the chance to take c3, and you are again in a little bit of pickle. If you take with queen, queen takes d5 and attacks your rook and stops your castle. But if you take with the pawn, it's a similar thing, just minus the queen being on c3, and your pawns are doubled. So which one do you think is better? Should we take with pawn or queen? Alright, I see a lot of people saying queen. To be fair, I did take with the queen myself too. That was not the best choice, because when I took with the queen, now my opponent could easily equalize, and he did take rook g1 and queen e4. Now queen e4 is kind of like the little issue going on here. So yeah, that's like a little bit of an issue with queen e4 trying to deal with this king unsafe king, as well as now my bishop being under attack, being unable to develop my other bishop. So that's why taking with pawn would like save a little bit more of my time, not because I could take, well, I mean technically I could take that, but it's not as ideal anymore anyways, because still black has a pretty sweet attack going on. But taking over here, you take on d5, rook g1, and you don't really have that queen e4s anymore. Next move, I can try to get my bishop out, get my rooks out, try to form something a little bit better. Alright, so here after take I took with queen e4. What do you think we should do as white? Get my coffee close by. Well, we can't just cast though. I don't want to lose my bishop. Yeah, rook g3. Good job. Try to save your bishop. So now after rook going to g3, black still has pretty awesome piece activity. Now I want you to think for black. What move from black could really be bothersome? Because if it's white to move, white wants to castle. So what can black do to kind of prevent me? Oh, thank you, Imani. I believe the red background was Ben Simon's idea just a while ago, but I've kind of been like covering it up all together. But this new frame with His Majesty right here, oh, being super cute. Fine, fine, I won't tickle you. It's so cute. I like working from home. Honestly, just because of Pishi. Well, also the cold, but if it was summer and Pishi was coming everywhere with me, as usual, yeah. Alright, so I see the idea with rook d8. I do like this idea. The problem with rook d8 is that it's too slow. Whichever rook, it's still pretty slow. Because I would have bishop g2, I would have knight d2. It's too slow. So think of more, as black, maybe think of, yeah, alright, I see someone said knight b4, yeah. Knight b4. Going after this pawn, if you castle, there is knight takes a2 as well by queen. So, what should we do after knight b4? Also, I'd like to mention knight e3 is a possibility because when you take with the rook, there is a queen h4 check. And if you try rook g3, now something with rook d8 to try and stop this. Also queen h2 happening if you try to do like a knight d2. Again, like a rook c8, just look at this awesome piece activity. Or even knight d4. You try to castle, there is rook c8. It's so scary for white. So that was another possibility, but I think knight b4 is pretty easy to find. Now, what do you think we should do as white? We can't castle, just yet at least. d5 was a good move. d5 was giving black much more chances of trying to figure out how to activate his pieces. Alright, I see some suggestions on bishop to d3, bishop g2, knight d4, a lot of those. So, well, I wouldn't really go for bishop g2, honestly. Knight c2 is still pretty annoying. So let's not go for that. Let's go for, I like the idea of just bishop d3. It stops a lot of these problems, and if you take it, perfect. I'll just take with the queen. And that is actually what happened in the game. In the game, he also just kind of took with the queen, but he could have done queen h1. That's another possibility. But then I would have done like bishop g1 or rook g1 and next move castle. So not much difference, honestly. But maybe just this idea of like knight going to b4 made it a little easier for me to develop, because remember in this line with take and queen h4. If rook goes to g3, then like rook d8. This would have been much more effective, because even if I try to do my bishop d3 normal stuff, again, I can't castle. It's like so much of a great momentum. Yeah, he's very generous, I agree. So yeah, I think this would have been an easier way for him to continue, because remember, if when we went to knight d2, there was this like knight d4, trying to do rook c8, going for over here. So yeah, I think knight e3 would have been the best choice to go for, but knight b4 kind of made it a little easier for me. Now, this is still going on. It's still a fight. But he made like this super cool mistake of taking on h2, and I just played bishop g1, and his knight went into my belly, basically. Yeah, and then this was kind of easy to win. It was quite funny because he continued for another, like, a lot actually. How did I let this game go for so long? Yeah, this game was like super winning because, you know, I got 2 pieces. He's eating a lot of pawns though. I don't like that. Alright, I'm just gonna continue for a little bit longer on this game because it's a little sad that I didn't win it faster. Alright. I mean, I'm doing a good technique, right? I put my bishop here, I kind of make your pawns go uncomfortable. Now let's bring out the other rook. Yep. Well, cute. If I take, there's rook e8, lol. Yeah. Let's just try to continue trying to eat some pawns. Yeah, I think I was simply just winning for most of the game now. But, he decided to continue for a while. Nothing wrong with that. If you feel like fighting, you should continue. No one should stop you from that. But yeah, overall it was kind of a fun game for me. Little tricks, lol, if you take. Alright, this game doesn't really have much else to look at. I slowly eat the pawns, keep my 1 pawn, 2 extra pieces, and start threatening checkmate. Where is the checkmate? Should be checkmate. Like, bishop h6 should be coming up soon. Yeah, he resigned here. Well, the early sacrifice is a completely alright idea, but I think he didn't follow up as well as he imagined he would. So like here, he made the mistake of not playing this knight e3, and he allowed my pieces to kind of free up. That was his big mistake. Alright, let's go ahead. Any questions on this one? To be completely fair, I'm just showing you different ways to play dragon. g4 is one of it, bishop c4 is one of it, we're gonna see. Short castle is another cool idea, so you don't have to play what I'm showing you, but it would be pretty cool if you actually know more than just one line. g4, bishop takes g4 is not the best idea. There are many other lines before you get to that position that you really have to take, but this is all pretty good enough already. Alright, next game was actually kind of fun for me. Because this game was in Dubai Open, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was in Dubai Open. I was hunting, I believe this was in 2014, so I was hunting my WIM norms, and so it was kind of fun because he was kind of higher rated by like 300 points. He was already an IM, he was such a great player. I was having a good tournament, and so was he up until then, lol. And he, I believe like there was another game that I played in Dragon with Nguyen and Jones. I got destroyed right out of the opening, and then like the next Dragon, that the tournament that I was gonna play, it was with him, and I saw that he plays Dragon. And so I kind of figured out, well, I remember I was looking at different games of Guan and Jones, and I realized, oh well, I could try and see, because he's such a huge dragon player. He knows how to tame dragons. Ha. So I kind of wanted to give it that try. Yeah. So I went for f4. Anyone here playing this line with f4? Anyone at all? Too bright. Alright, I see few players are saying that they play this. Okay, great. Well, to be completely fair, it's a pretty cool idea, nothing against it. But I never really felt that strong connection with f4. I'm a huge f4 fan, but like with white I go for f4s, with black I go for the f5s, but I never really felt that deep of a connection with this one, so it made it a little harder for me to actually like it, to be honest. Alright. So after f4, no one ever plays dragon against you. Wow, that is kind of... both, it's kind of very interesting. I don't think I've had many players play dragon against me recently either. Yeah, interesting. So, knight c6. Now, what should we do? What's the line? I kind of want to hear some thoughts, because this is not my main opening, so it would be kind of a good idea to get a better understanding of what you think should happen. Also, I gotta mess with the cat. Just a little paw massage. Oh, he's being too cute. Well, to be fair, there are many different ways of playing this line. So it's not just one way. Bishop e3 is one way, bishop b5 is another way, taking is possible, whoa. Trying to do short castle, trying to do long castle, there are a lot of different things to do. But in this specific game, I went for knight f3. I believe I went for this knight f3 because I saw that he had a game that he I remember it was more of the psychology of the preparation rather than the exact like opening ideas behind it. So I thought that was a cool thing to do. Yeah, so anybody does this weird knight f3 on another note. No, Mohammad Reza, we don't really, well, the club does have a bunch of tournaments going on leeches here and there. So make sure to follow the schedule for that. Well, right now the chess club is still pandemic, style, but St. Louis based, so yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I did want to send a link and mention, yeah, so there is something cool going on with the club too. I'll be sharing the link with you guys, so maybe hopefully you can try to enter and win. Let me try to drop the link. No, he's just napping. He's being a baby. Alright. Yeah, this knight f3 is not as popular as most other lines. So bishop g4. Now, what do you think we should do? I think the first thing to try and decide is, what am I doing with this king? Am I going short? Am I going long? Also, I really do want to drop that link, so let me work with that. Oh yeah. So, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. Make sure to enter. Hopefully you will win. That would be pretty cool. So we're doing like a raffle for the 2018 St. Louis Blitz and Rapid vinyl board signed by all the players. The poster is on our social media, so yeah, it would be pretty cool if you guys enter and win, and then let us know. That the raffle is always fun. I'm a little scared to enter raffles, but this should be a good one. Try to give it a try. And he is a sleepy kitty. He's been playing in the snow most of the day, so he's feeling a little tired, huh? Alright, so that's kind of the fun thing about this position. You have so many different options, but one thing is pretty obvious. You're most likely gonna do short castle, because if I wanted to do long castle, then knight f3 didn't make any sense. So we're gonna do short castle. I continued this with h3. Again, this was pretty much prepared before the game. I was gonna come up with a funny word mixing with preparation and pre-game. So nah, never mind. It was just pre-game preparation. And so we take, and bishop g7. Alright, let's get bishop d3, castle, and knight d7. So I have a more and more question for you guys. How do you want to continue this? What is your idea? What are you trying to achieve? Yes, I cannot stop playing with my cat when he tries to sleep. Same with him. When I try to sleep, he sings, he comes and wants to cuddle, and he sleeps on my face and purrs when I'm trying to wake up, but like it's like an alarm wake up, but then I'm like, oh, it's an alarm, I still want to go back to sleep. He comes up, he like purrs on my neck, he like puts his big belly on my face. So we have a thing going. I don't let him sleep, he doesn't let me sleep. I let him nap though. Ah, so cute. Ooh, f5. Well, to be fair, f5 is like the ultimate idea, but we can't do that now. This square is way too sad. A lot of things can hop in it. Nah, this is too much. Let's try to just develop. Ah, that was such a beautiful stretch. And he's officially covering his face with his paw. Ah, cats. Bishop e3, there we go, let's develop, yeah. So after bishop e3, my ideas were pretty simple. Like, man, I just want to develop. Like, I'm just getting my pieces out. It seemed like he wants knight d4 or bishop d4, so I played bishop e3. Yeah. So this was kind of a chill opening so far. So my opponent continued with now. I think. Actually, let me ask you. What do you think black should do? Keep in mind the last move that black played was knight going to d7. So what do you think should be the move after that? you kind of want to get the knight to d5, force exchange. Makes sense. But, if you played knight d5 right now, then there's e6. So you have to come back with your knight anyways, and then knight c5 would come. Queen a5, huh? I mean, I could live with this. Yeah, definitely. So you might want to take over here and do this. So how about just like rook b1? If you take the end of the line, I can try and maybe eat over here. Knight c5. Oh, I could just take it. Yeah. So rook b1 makes sense. Queen a5 also makes sense. What else? What else can black try to do? Maybe rook c8, try to develop. I kind of like that idea too. Then we could just develop ourselves as well. This is such a strong bishop though. Black really is enjoying this. White has to try and figure out how to deal with that. No, I'm so glad. There's so many different responses coming in, so thank you everybody for your interactions. Knight c5s are right now not entirely the thing, just because the rook is already in front of the queen. So e5 would become even stronger than that. Maybe get like queen a5 first. Yeah, I think this would most likely work better. Alright, so I see in the chat there are some nice ideas going on about yeah, so basically you all kind of agree that this trade between this bishop and this knight is not really ideal for black. I agree too. Black shouldn't really be doing that. So in order for black to well, not do that, well, yeah. So I like rook c8. I think rook c8 is a good idea. In the game, my opponent played knight b4, which was a little weird, honestly. Knight b4, you're attacking my bishop, but not really. Like, my bishop is defended. So what do you think we should do? Am I supposed to move this bishop? Should I come defend it? Should I kick the knight? Ooh, I see there has been some Instagram or Facebook followers. Interesting. No, yeah, so while you guys are coming up with an idea on what to do here as white, Pishi, it was not a fight. Pishi was trying to make friends with the stray cat who's been coming here for like a good, like at least, no, more like 5-6 months now. And we've been letting the other cat inside because it's so freezing out there. He usually eats here, stays here for like an hour and then leaves. But last night he ate, he was chilling, and Pishi went a little close to him and he was just looking at him. And the other cat just scratched Pishi and ran out. And then Pishi, I didn't see that, I just saw that they got too close. I didn't see the scratch, so I tried to go close the door on the other cat and see what happened to Pishi. And then I saw Pishi came to me with like a face like this. It was so cute, and I was like, oh my god, my kid went blind. My cat went kid cat went blind. It was very sad, and I started like I grabbed him. I was like looking at his eyes. His eyes were fine, and then I was like, okay, so maybe he didn't get scratched. And then I saw that my hands were a little bloody, and then I realized that he got this huge like scratch over here, and I did like alcohol wipes, and yeah, we won't be hosting the stray cat anymore after that shebang. Right, Pishi? Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. We were nice to this other cat for months and kinda comes scratches. Yeah. So honestly, I do like the idea of rook d1. I don't want to move my f rook because I want to try and push for f5. But I like this ideas with a3 potentially. Not just yet, but this is something else that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna try to just get this rook out of the harm's way. Yeah, rook d1 seems alright. Nothing is attacking me. If you take over here, then sure, I'll just take it back. And next I have d4. So I kind of do like this. I wish this actually happened. But Stockfish likes rook b1. Ooh, god, really? Why would Stockfish go for... I mean, I understand the concept of it. My pawn is weak, defending... No. As long as there's rook d1, there are no serious threats. Rook d1, why would I do rook b1? I kind of see that. Backward pawn. Huh. So Imani, that's kind of fun. That's kind of really funny because my opponent was seriously considering taking over here, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop you. You want to give up this super cool bishop for this weird knight? Sure, go for it. After rook c8, now I see a lot of you are suggesting to form an attack in the king side as with white. I like that. We should. Now the question is how. Just eat pawn. This pawn, you eat this pawn, there's gonna be b6. Even if not just yet. Take, take, take. Whatever you take back with, then b6. Your bishop gets in a pickle. Yeah, don't eat poisonous pawns. Oh. Pishi, are you sick of us? Alright, so not eating on a7. What else can we try to do? f5, thank you, thank you. I see a lot of you are suggesting f5, so I'm not going to name names, but good job, thank you. f5 is great, yeah. The idea with f5 is pretty cool because even if knight tries to go to e5, so what? I'll just play queen basically anywhere actually. g3, f4. Let's go to f2 for now. If you try to take, awesome. I'll just try and push d4 next move. If you try to do like knight c4, I can just even take that. And I'll just kick you over here. My queen is defending this pawn too. Nice one, Imani. We're not gonna rush for g4, honestly. We don't want to rush it, no. Exactly. We want to do it when needed. It's not needed right now, so no need to torture myself with g4 ideas. So, alright, after, let's go back. I don't think knight e5 is that necessary. Knight e5 makes sense, but something else also makes sense. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think is black's best move? I'll give you a few options. Maybe you can take here, maybe you can take here. We already looked at knight e5. It's doable, but doesn't really do much, honestly. Oh yeah, this guy is GM Fishy. Right, baby? Alright, good. Thank you, Carter. Yeah, I see that the suggestion of taking on c3 is coming in. Knight e5 too. Knight f6. I'm not sure about that. Well, black in the game did took knight takes d3. That was wrong. Because after knight takes d3, I just take c takes d3. Now I want to play d4. So he kind of fell into the hole and he took over here. And we end up in this position. Now, what do I think about this? Is this a good idea? Is this a better position for white? Yeah, this bishop can become such a cool monster as it did in the game. So I'm gonna go back and talk about the right move, and then we're gonna come back here and show how the game ended. Well, if you want to take this, you gotta take it now. You shouldn't wait that long. Because this bishop is kind of on the way, honestly. It's not really doing anything, this bishop. So you don't have to take it. You can just keep it and consider taking other stuff that's just not the bishop, basically. Because now if you try to, let's say, take over here, I can just take it with f. You move the queen. Even knight can maybe just take this, take that. Try to double up over here. It's still not ideal because of this bishop. White still has pretty good compensation for the pawn that I've lost, but it's still a playable position. Like, black is not losing, white is not losing. Nobody has that clear advantage. Another way to go about it is potentially with now maybe knight e5. You move, now I take. That's another way to go about it, but it makes white even better. Well, if we don't want to take on c3, then we should go for knight e5. Taking on c3, it's so... yeah, taking on c3 is so... I'm gonna say lazy, honestly. Or stupid. I don't know which one to go for. It's not really a good idea. It doesn't make any sense to give up this bishop and make my bishop strong. So yeah, knight takes, take. In the game, this is what happened. King gotta go to h1, knight e5. Now what should we do? Also, what do you think? Is this position a good idea for white? Black? What should we do? Oh, I see queen e2. Why are we going back? Oh, wow. Some people still would rather to be black. Interesting. Well, black is not exactly offering the rook, but the queen, we gotta figure out where to place the queen. Alright, I don't want to play queen e3 because I don't want to exchange the queens. And also I would lose d3 after that. I don't want to go in the endgame. The problem is that you have a weak king, weaker compared to mine. I have a strong bishop that's gonna attack it. I'm not gonna exchange that. Queen g3, possible, but queen f4 is much stronger because I want to go for d4. If I play queen g3, I can't play this d4. So queen f4 makes a little more sense because I want to push for d4. Yeah, it should be a little easier to go for this. I see so many queen g3s. I'm not sure why you guys love this queen g3 too much. It's a good idea to try and get the queen closer to the king, but alright, so queen f4. Yep, this is also attacked. No port, that is Pishi, yep. Hold on, knight d3 doesn't work. Knight d3, I will take it. If you take back, now f takes g6. This guy's under attack, this guy's under attack. You take, boom. Queen f7 coming next. Careful, careful. Yep. Alright, knight d3 doesn't work. Well, what about rook d3? Does this work? Because if you just move this rook, well, I'm gonna play d4. You move this, then I'll take, and f7 falls either. Two, not either. Well. So what do you think should happen? Should he take this? How else can this d4 be stopped? Also, I'm gonna send the link again. Whoops, doesn't do it. I gotta go copy it again. Because I really don't want you guys to miss out on this chance. It's a pretty cool chance. So make sure to try and enter whenever you can. It's a good idea. Because the club is doing a raffle for 2018 St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournaments. Remember when we could all, do actual human traveling and chess? These are pretty cool vinyl boards. All the players signed it. Such a cool thing. Please go sign. Well, I guess register, sign in, enter the raffle. There we go. Oh wait, the link doesn't work? Huh. Well, let me go if the link doesn't work, cause then I could probably ask Ben. Ooh, garden variety. I see queen d4. Yeah, I see that's mentioned. Yeah, that's actually what my opponent played. He played queen d4. Yep. Surprisingly, rook d3 was the best one. Oh, thank you, Carter. Well, rook d3 was the best one because if I take, now knight takes, attacks my queen. Now I gotta move the queen and then you get to try and stop my attack. It's not as strong. Also, you ate a pawn. If I don't take it, it's very strong. So I'm gonna give you a little hint. Not taking is the best move, but what do you think is the actual best move in this position? Taking is not a good idea, but what's the good idea? Meanwhile, I'm gonna do a quick check with Ben to make sure that the link is working. And bishop f8 could work. F6, thank you. Yeah, f6 is such a cool idea because, well, you can't really take it because that would be a lot of fun for me. And if you don't take it, well, what else are you gonna do? If you try and take rook takes d1, sure, I can even just take it over here. Now I want to take to give you checkmate. You gotta move this guy. Now I can take it over here. Again, you can't really take it because queen f6 coming up. So let's say you play f5. I'll still take this. This is super duper cool. Anyways, that's the best way that white should have continued with f6. But, I guess my link is not working. Alright, I asked Ben to share the link. I don't know why the link wasn't working. Well, I guess I'm not permitted to share links. That would make sense, actually. Alright, so, queen f4, pretty cool. We're trying to do d4. Opponent tried to stop it with queen d4, but now I get to eat your rook. And to top that, I still am, like, it is like +2 or what for white. How do you think we should win? This king looks too delicious. We gotta go try and attack it. Queen h6 is a good idea, but we could try to improve that idea. Instead of queen just going to h6, we could try to improve that by starting with like f6. Thank you. Thank you, Ben, for sending the link. So yeah, as I said, this is a pretty cool signed board with for 2018 St. Louis Blitz and Rapid that all the players signed. So yeah, enter the raffle and, well, hopefully you'll win it. Alrighty, we have that message here. It's pinned. We got it good. Alright, so f6 is a good idea. Another cool idea is with queen h4. Honestly, I think queen h4 kind of stops your king g8, but it's trying to eat your pawns left and right, so I kind of like that too. I'm a big pawn eater. Preferably chocolates, but I'll eat pawns too. F6 is another thing to be aware of. With f6, now let's say take, let's say take, we just take, now that check's coming up, that check's coming up, I guess just rook c1 could come up. Let's see, this knight is pinned, maybe I could try to poke that a little too. It's just so many things left and right. So, f6 he didn't take, he played h5, and I want you to remember this was such a weird thing for me because I was so much lower rated, like 300 less. He was an IM. He was actually pretty young. I think around early. Oh, I don't know exactly. Not a teenager, I want to say, but maybe late teens, early 20s. So he had energy. He had decent position. He had the rating, the title, but he kind of messed it up. So I'm kind of showing this to encourage you to not be afraid of playing titled players. Just because he had an IM title, it doesn't give him the right to win. It's not like his birthright. I mean, yeah. So it was kind of a cool idea to try and show these games. Now, the game is gonna be over in like 3-4 moves. So let's try to see. How should I wrap it up? I think I'm gonna start with check, because no king g8, checkmate. Then what? What should we do then? I Manny? No, it was him. I took his rating. I liked it. Alright, so let's start with queen h8. And let's just eat the pawn, because if you take it back, I can just... It's kind of a cool idea. What do you think we should do? There are many different ways to win, but which one do you think is the best one? Yes, rook takes f7. Good job. Take, just check. King moves, and next you just bring the queen, and rook comes 2. If you try to go like king e6, it's the same. Well, actually, it's mate in 1. I thought, yeah, well, I mean, you could prolong it a little if you want. But no, that's the same thing. Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of a cool game. Well, in the game, actually, he played rook c8, and at this point, I was like, I don't want to risk anything. I'm just gonna eat the rook. You take it back, and I'll just make a new queen. Easy peasy win. James, that was kind of the fun thing. If you took here with the king after rook c7, the knight can't take, because I'll just eat your queen. Yeah, that was kind of the cool thing about it. So yeah, that was another pretty cool game of mine. I really liked this one too. It felt nice, not just because he was a higher rated IM, but also because it was a higher rated IM. No, because I played like a new opening and I still managed to get it done, and I really liked it. Alright, I have one more game for you guys from Dragon Style, and then after that, we are most likely, we might have time to actually do another one, but if we don't have time, then we're gonna switch it up to our usual like 10-minute break, so I can set up Twitch and start gathering your games so you can send it to me. And on Twitch, we're gonna go there. You're gonna send your games on from Lichess to Twitch. There we go. So we can analyze your games. Alright. This game was also pretty fun, if I remember correctly. So 2014, I needed new openings. Like I felt so weak against French and Caracan and a lot of like the different Sicilian, especially Dragon. I felt like I didn't have that like one line that would be like super, and then I would need to like add other little lines. So as luck had it, Paramarjan Negi started giving out books. Well, writing out books, I guess. Yeah, he has this super cool opening series. I don't know if it's finished yet. Um, yeah, I think there's like one more volume left. But yeah, he started like E4 versus like French Caracan and Perk. That was awesome. I won so many games in those lines. um, then there was another one, and I think there were like three of them against Sicilian. That one of them was specifically against Najdorf. Well, I think maybe two of them were more on Najdorf, and the other one was um, more on what's this called? Dragon. Yeah, so this one was kind of a more preparation that's like straight up. I'm telling you, uh, pretty much like 20 something moves. I knew the opening. It was so funny. And it's this was a game that I played in World Youth Championship 2014. Oh god, I feel old. When I was under 16, and I remember this was like this game was right after the rest day, because in World Youths we get like rest days because the tournament's like 11 rounds, so it's a little too long, so rest days are usually appreciated. And this was right after the rest day. So like I remember rest day we went to like mall and did like little shopping, and like we went to aquarium and whatever. It was in South Africa, so it was so beautiful. But eventually I was also preparing for this game because my opponents only played Dragon, and I really wanted to win. And I didn't really like these lines that I was playing. I felt like I've been playing them for so long. They kind of started to bore me. So this F3 G4 that I showed you in the first game bored me. That idea with F4 was more of a one-time thing. So I wanted something more stable, and I've been working on this through Negi's books, and I think maybe it was published on Chessbase too, because I remember I learned a lot of his Scotch on Chessbase, opening wise, but his dragons, I don't know where. I think it was Chessbase or his books. It was a mix, I want to say. Uh, anyways, those are really great books. They might be a little outdated, to be honest, but I would still recommend you to take a look at them. Try to find what's wrong with them. Try to see if today's engine have anything different to add. But most likely will. But I don't think the ideas are bad. I think the ideas are still pretty sharp. So, anyways, I'll show you this game, and I'm telling you, this game was pretty much all preparation. There were so few moves. I think it was literally like 2 moves that I did with my brain. Lol, I got a good memory. So let's go ahead. So in the first game that I showed you, G4 was that. The second game we talked about the idea with Short Castle. Now I'm showing you more of a classical approach with Bishop C4s. So there are tons and tons and tons of lines in these. There's take early on, there's Bishop D7, there is, I guess, anything honestly. The Knight E5s, so there's so many moves. And so yeah, Bishop D7 was played. I like this idea of castling and doing King B1 early on because Black wants to play D5 early, so we don't want that. We just want to try and get Black to be very uncomfortable and not D5 me. So After castle, rook c8, and again, I'm telling you straightforward, this is all preparation. My brain had very little to do with this game. But bishop b3, you should know a lot of your openings, even if not to the extent that I knew. Also, I got lucky. It's like when you go to the exam and you see teacher have repeated like 10 of the questions from like a quiz that he said he's not gonna do it, but then you like looked at it, but then he showed it. It's like this things with exams questions. You can get lucky in chess, especially with preparation. You can get so lucky. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for you should prepare. You should know chess, but you should prepare. Yeah, thank you, Captain. Memorizing that many moves has a great deal to do with your brain. True, but I wasn't coming up with moves. I was coming up with was this what I prepared? It was more that. So, anywho, 95. Now, I know the theory. Some of you might know the theory, but what do you think? Let's see. If we didn't know the theory, what do you think my opponent wants to do after knight e5? Thank you, MJ Tyree. Tomsy, I'm gonna give you a little advice. This was full preparation. Again, there might have been some lines that have been updated or actually outdated since then, but I don't think bishop b3 is one of them. Bishop b3 is like classic dragon. Yeah, he wants to play knight to c4. So we can't really stop that, but what should we do? So what is my idea as white? Eventually I want to start attacking too. But when? When is the right time? Oh, John, I was doing preparation. I was preparing pretty much around 1900, as early as I could. Again, you should know chess, you should know end games, you should know middle games, you should know strategy before you rely on luck and preparation. Because if you get a good position, then how are you going to win it? You should be able to do that. But as soon as you know you're able to actually win with decent advantage, then yeah, that's good enough. Prepare. F4 too early. Especially this F3 pawn is good. I don't want to push that. This pawn is gonna be defending my G4s. So what else? What are some of like the typical ideas in Dragon? Like, what is there anything like? Does this scare you a little bit? Yeah, king b1. Let's do that. I don't know exactly which pawn do I want to push first, but I know I want to put this king in safety. So, again, here there are a bunch of different lines. Rook e8, a6, early b5, getting queen out. So many different lines. But he played she played knight c4. Now, shall we take it or should we give up this bishop? You're gonna lose one of your two bishops. So which one would you choose to give up? thank you for your donation, Mehrdad. Super sweet of you. I'm glad you're liking the lessons. Make sure to definitely come to our Twitch channel right after this so we can analyze your game. Alright, so I see a lot of you wanting to get rid of this bishop. I agree. The thing is that we get the rook to come up so we could start poking it. This rook here is fine, but it's not really doing much. Now, which pawn should we start pushing? Oh wow! Thank you, Samir. Thank you for the donations. Super cool of you, everybody. Justin, we are not arguing. Paul Murphy is awesome player. Pretty great, yeah. Alright, so, I see there's like a pretty split which one to start with. Start with g4, because if you start with h4, first of all, there could be h5s. Now if you play g4, I could just take that. Then it makes it it messes with the whole rhythm. So start with g4. You know you're gonna do g4 anyway, so you might as well start with it. Now, next move you want to go for h4s and h5s, and yeah. So, what else? What do you think your opponent should do? He should probably start attacking you too, right? So what if b5? Is that good? Can I eat it? Should I eat it? Black bishop trade for his bishop. Huh. I'm not sure how that fit would be. Ooh, I think I got you guys. We shouldn't eat it, because if we eat it, they're queen b8s. Doesn't matter with what, honestly. I mean, with this is a little bit better, but still, there's going to be queen b8s. You're gonna help your opponent attack you. You're opening up stuff on your own king. So we shouldn't do that. After b5, don't take it. Don't give your opponent momentum, piece activity, all of those fun stuff. Don't give it to him. Well, her, in this case. It was a she. So you're attacking me. Can I just ignore you and play h4? Oh, why are you guys against h4? I don't get it. h4 is a pretty cool idea. Oh well. Ah, sorry. My YouTube just went offline. Wait. Let me double check with Ben if I'm being weird from my end or... Yeah, I don't know. Well, since you guys aren't saying anything, I guess the video is alright. Anyways, I'm checking in with Ben to make sure stream is not crashing. Lol. Alright. Black still doesn't have immediate threat. You see, the thing is, we don't need to play g5. That's the thing. We don't know if you're gonna do this g5. We know we gotta open up the rook, so let's go for that. Yeah, let's go for h4. H4 is pretty good. Ha, Pisha is watching over the connection, which is little, looking super cute. Alright. Okay, let's go. H4 is a good idea. I don't think you should start with g5. That's the thing. When you play b4, I'm not gonna go knight d2. I'm going knight d5. Because after knight d5, if take, yes, this bishop is opened, but my knight is kind of still protecting it. And imagine if this pawn was not on the board. This would be much worse, right? If this pawn, now that this pawn is here, it's blocking, it's kind of protecting my king, honestly. So this is good. I like this. Now, in the game, black played queen a8. Again, this is all preparation, so don't feel bad if you can't find the right moves. But what do you think we should do? Black wants to eat my pawn. Do I care about this pawn, or should I continue with my attack? Alright. Okay, I see some ideas with continue or try to kick the rook. Yeah, let's go for h5. The thing is, this pawn, like b3 possible, but no. Ow. Yeah, I don't really like this. So let's continue with our idea with h5. Now, what if you take? Can I use this somehow? Yeah, so that's the idea. Where should we go though? Yep, we're not playing b3. Nope. Yeah, nice. Knight f5. Going after e7. Let's say take. Now, careful. Should we take back immediately or checks? check. You move the king now. What should I eat this with? And I'd like to point out, this is still preparation. So yes. uh, yeah, we should take it with the rook, because the thing is, we want to be able to potentially use this diagonal, so careful with that. So rook takes d2. Now in the game, it was kind of funny because my opponent here played rook e8. Well, I don't really. I mean, I have to. Yeah, I just have to do like literally I have one move. So let's do this. I'm also defending this guy. So my opponent here got a little excited and played a5. What do you think we should do? This was literally the only move of the game that I did myself. So I'm out of preparation right now. How do you think we should win? A little funny, honestly. So, what should we do as white? I see some ideas coming in. Trap the bishop. Basically, yeah, let's go trap the bishop. Literally the only move I had to think about. Now he moved the bishop, trap it. She took over here. I took that. Rook e5, and well, just bishop d4. Give me this guy too. And well, she just resigned here after. Well, checkmate is coming up. It was quite fun. This literally the only move that I had to spend some brain cells on was this idea with rook with h6. So a little funny for me to not. This like it happens here and there. Like there has definitely been some games that I've really had easy win. There has been some games that been a little harder, but kind of managed. No, I didn't sing thank you next or easy. Yeah, I didn't do that. No, that would be too painful. This was just a good game, and she was out prepped. I think honestly, her mistake was that she didn't know her opening. She knew it, but she didn't know it well. Like when you play only one opening, you should know it well. You should know what you're doing. Yeah. I'm gonna show you another example. This was also not a super high class game. Well, I mean, I had a nice win. But this one's like a little different type of like accelerated dragon. So a lot of the times here, if you take with knight, there are like they try to do accelerated dragon, starting with like knight f6, because if like bishop here, you have c4, so no, it goes to Maroczy structures, which we have also done, like I believe like few hours on. I'd also like to take a second to mention that the cat who made Fishy bleed is behind my window. Should I go make it bleed? I'm not gonna make a cat bleed, but I'm sure he's not welcome here anymore. You make my cat bleed, you go get food somewhere else. Anyways, ha. So now that I did my little sassy part, let's go. Makes me feel bad though. Why would you have to go ruin it, you weird cat? I was feeding you, you were warming up, you had a nice thing going, and you have to go make my cat bleed. Alright, back to chess parts. Poor Peachy. People play this line quite frankly because they are hoping to save this d6. They don't want to do this d6. They want to start with this, and then they're gonna try and do the same things with dragon, just without d6, and later on they're gonna like do immediate d5. I fell into that trap once or twice, so I wouldn't exactly recommend it. I mean, let me rephrase. It's not a trap, but you should know it. You should know what you're doing. So for me, when I want to play bishop c4, this d5 is a little bothersome. So I wouldn't really want to do that. It kind of bugs me to not be able to play this c4. Alright, so that is why I usually take with queen. Now, after taking with queen, there's a whole line going on. First of all, I'm going to show you the easiest way, which is with knight f6, knight c6. You go there, you come here, you have to do this little queen dance, and then after the best move is like trying to go knight b6 or knight b4, but my opponent here was I think he was very little unexperienced. He played e6, or not as experienced. He went for e6. Now, what do you think we should do? What do you think is the strategy? Also, these are such nice outposts. Okay, I'm glad everybody is agreeing that the stray cat is on a timeout. I'll probably still feed it, but I'll not let it come inside because poor Peachy. Yeah. I can't forget his face after he got. He's never like been in a violent situation. So when he experienced violence and when he was bleeding, he came to me like his eyes were like. It was so sad. Yeah, and he still has a little scar going on, but yeah, bad cat. Anyways, what do you think we should do? How should we develop? Well, honestly, there are many ways you can develop. C4 is the easiest way to go. I didn't want to be bothered with anything happening on b4, and I also wanted to confuse my opponent, so I started with a3. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a3 because you are, well, nothing can. No, I don't want anything on my b4. This is not the most accurate way. This was just something that I did to avoid some of the things that you could do. Anyways, so he played bishop g7. His mistake was this e6. Like, e6 makes no sense because you already played g6, so you're committed to fianchettoing the bishop. So it makes absolutely no sense to play e6. Because then you're just making new holes. Yes, I was attacking your knight, so move the knight. Alright, so bishop g7, now I poke your knight, now I just get my pieces out, especially because I don't want to worry about this pawn being under attack. So bishop f4, a6, and now what? How do you think we should get our pieces out? Which side are we castling? Which side should we? To be fair, it's not that hard to answer because there's like a b5 coming up, so we should go the other way. So, but we should still develop. So let's still get this knight out, and then I'll get my bishop out. And I agree, this idea with h4 is so tempting, But I honestly just wanted to play somewhat of a safe game. I have such good position, so much space, so much holes to go poke, so many. So I didn't want to risk it. I just wanted to play somewhat of a safe game, win this game. Remember, it's a morning round too. I am not a morning person. After 10 a.m., I'm good. I can do anything after 10 a.m. 9 a.m., I can still do it. I'll need coffee, probably a massage, some chocolate. 8 a.m., ugh, no. I am not a morning person. I've never been a morning person. It's gonna make my life quite miserable, but thank God for night shifts. So, exactly. Thank you, iManning. If I can avoid calculating, perfect. Alright, so here after I castled, he played f5. So after f5, what do you think we should do? That stray cat's still here. So how can I make a stray cat forget that I've been feeding it for a few months? Anybody knows how to repel a cat? Wow, 5 a.m. Man, show the cat. There's one cat here. It's the only cat that should be on camera. Maybe he can show us his other side. You see? Switch a little. Yeah, I've unfortunately trained the cat to come in. Now if I could only train it to not make my cat bleed, we could all leave happily ever after, but cats. Why don't you guys want to do you know, this and, you know, eat? So I don't get it. This is supposed to be an easy thing. Thank you, en passant, yes. Manny, can you come take this cat? Then I'll feel not guilty about not feeding it, because I really don't want to feed it since he made my cat bleed, but sitting there waiting and it's like staring at me. Ow, my heart hurts. Alright, so we should do this en passant and we should just eat over here. Right? It's easy peasy stuff. You know, also my opponent was quite helpful, to be honest. I just ate everything. No, this was a good game. I have some other games that have been as, I want to say, nice. There was one game that was actually a little extra sweet. Let me see, was it this one? Yeah, so this one, I'm gonna just show the opening of it because we're a little low on time because I gotta make a switch from, look, now it's coming closer to the, oh, it hurts my soul. Sorry, it's hard to see an animal that I liked and now I have to dislike. Ooh. Alright. PC, are you falling off? Let's go. So this was a different game. Like, this is not the main opening that people play, but this is also doable. So I'm just showing you this for opening purposes because, well, I think it's important to know a little bit about all openings. But, alright, so, queen e4. So honestly, there's so many different ways to play this. Knight b4 is one of it. The idea behind knight b4 is kind of funny because if it's black to move, black's gonna try to play d5 and bishop f5. Oh, hello. So as white, we should try to stop that. We play bishop b5. We stop this idea with d5. Because if you play d5 now, this is pinned, so I get to eat this for free. Now black would play a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3. Now my bishop is protecting this pawn, so d5 doesn't work as well. because now after d5 I'll simply be able to take it over here, bishop f5, and I'll just save my queen. I believe. Then there are like knight a5s and castling. That's not the most common way to play this. There are other ways too. I think b5 is something that has to be played after b5, bishop b3, d5, take, maybe not bishop f5, maybe queen d6 is another way, like bishop f4, then try to do like weird things with the queen. It's like a whole thing. But yeah, it's you should know this, but it's not that hard to find moves. All black wants with this knight b4 is to go after c2 with, or ideally with bishop f5. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to show. The other thing is with knight c7s, but with knight c7s we're just gonna get knight f3, bishop f4, and long castle, and that's one of the games that I actually played. I'll show you a little bit more, but we're not gonna be able to wrap it up for this game. It's a very long game, and I messed it up. I had advantage and it ended in a draw. So anywho, so when we're looking at these lines, what do you think? What should be, what? Well, I say we have advantage, but where is our advantage? So what do you think? Yeah, this guy is a space master. I agree. This guy has so much space. And this line will most likely pop up. I'm not the biggest fan on this diagonal, so I might just move it a little. So, what next? This could come up. Probably short castle will be, because long castle, I mean, I guess 96, maybe try to go for long castle. I guess it's possible, but still knight b5's a little uneasy. Maybe knight d5 a little better actually. Try to keep it with the rhythm. Anyways, white is holding that kind of like a mini advantage because of the space, but I couldn't hold it. And actually in the game, this is actually what happened in the game. After queen b8, I went back like queen e3. I still have advantage, and I knew I was better. I just didn't really know how to continue, and that's why I messed it up and ended in a draw. Oh, such a good game. Anywho, and there's another line that I also want to mention before we finish up with knight b6. So knight b6 is another quite popular line, and with knight b6, you gotta be careful because now knight c3 has to be played. After knight c3, something with d6 or bishop g7. It's kind of like a so what would have been a better way to continue for white to press? Great Wolf, you would have to come back next week for more on that. Yeah, I do want to talk, I'm like giving you like a mini trailer on more of, this is not accelerated dragon, but this line with dragon, like accelerated trying to do dragon. So yeah, this knight b6 is another cool idea that it could be a nice way to go for it. I think knight b6 is actually the most popular these days. And then continuing with d6 or bishop g7, and then trying to go for, again later on, you would do something with this pawn, try to get the bishop out. White could try to go for long castle or short castle. Black will highly likely to just go for short castle. And yeah, that's where I'll leave you for the cliffhanger. So please come to our Twitch channel pretty much now. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna switch from YouTube to Twitch and have the setup. The cat will most likely be here. I will also most likely give in and feed that cat because it's staring at me. I don't want the dead cats to come back haunt me. But yes, please come in our Twitch channel. Have your games ready to send in a Lichess PGN format. We will go over it. It's in a type of first comes first served. If you have not seen our Twitch channel, oh boy, you should. It's a good channel. You should follow it. Ideally, subscribe to it. And yeah, I'll see if we can get the GMP Bitmoji going on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, on Twitch channel we are simply at STL Chess. What me? Actually, that's a little sad. Wait, you've never been on our Twitch channel? Why? Why haven't you been on our Twitch channel? We've had Twitch channel going on for months, if not years. At least we've been active on it for, I want to say, the last 2 years at least. Alright, following, I don't want to make noise with this. Yeah, just look up St. Louis Chess Club. Jesus, how do I share this? Ah, there we go. Whisper, nope, add, share, there we go. Copy. And yes, please come to our Twitch TV's STL Chess Club on Twitch. Alright, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Have your games ready to go. So this first come first serve type of deal. And with that, I'll see you in a